Hello crafty friends. So yes, you guessed it. I could not wait to use that punch that I just hauled from Tuesday morning and some of the goodies. So I have some flowers to show you that I made. So first of all, my first impression of this punch was very good. Yes, I would not be able to use it for the rosettes like I was thinking that I could probably use it or I was planning, because this is not a rosette making punch, this is a flower making punch. So anyway, so I decided to go ahead and give it a use since I've been making some flowers anyway. um why not give it a go since I already had it here. So I was trying to kind of decide and kept looking at it and going back and forth. Do I really need it? Should I just bring it back? But once I started punching it out and making these flowers, I was pretty impressed and I really liked it. So I am doing the basic flower layering technique here. So it depends how full you want your flower to be, is how long you want this strip to be. So I just basically just picked up a regular sheet of cardstock that is 8.5 by 11, and I punched lines over and over. So here I ended up punching 4 of each color, and some of the pink and some of the blue. And what I'm doing here is and I apologize that I'm a little bit off frame, but it's just adding a little bit of glue on the bottom and layering them. So once I do that one on top of the other, just kind of stagger them a little, I glue on the second portion to make it a little bit longer. Now to roll it into my flower, I decided to give them a little bit of a center, and I just grabbed a piece of paper and cut a lot of little frilly things. So I just used my scissors to cut and rolled it up, and using my hot glue gun, again I apologize you can't see it here, but that's what I'm doing. I just put it in the center and then just began rolling. I'm not really paying attention to make sure things are lined up or where they're standing. I'm just rolling. So you go and roll all of it, and I don't know if this is different ways that you can make the flowers, but here I forgot that I needed a base for my flower so that way I can sit it on and glue everything together. So I grabbed my reverse tweezers from EK Tools that come in very very handy to hold it while I was cutting this little circle. So I added some hot glue to the bottom, and I'm just trimming the excess. And here you have my flower. Now I just sit it onto my table and start fluffing it off, and here you can see how my flowers are turning. So I did make a couple of other colors, just kind of off camera, but I am doing the same process on everything, just cutting this little like frilly things to make the centers of the flower, and then gluing it onto the center, and then just begin rolling. Like I told you, it depends how full you want your flowers to be as to how long you would make this strip. I mean, it's endless. You could create huge flowers with it, but I don't need huge flowers. These are big enough as it is. They are a little bit bulky, and I'm not quite sure what I would use them for, other than maybe embellish something that is a little bit large, because it gives you that strip at the bottom when you roll it up. That's that height that you have off the ground. So on some of my flowers also, you can see that I added a little bit of greenery to it to just kind of decorate it a little bit. But then I also thought that there was other ways that you could make these flowers. And here I am just, grabbing the strip of the punch and folding it into it. So just like grab it, twist it, and fold it, and you come with this shape. And you can see just here kind of like making pleats, yeah, pleats, and then just folding it. And then I am just trying to stagger these two to put them together, and you could kind of get a few of these to put together, but it does get a little bulky in the center, so I have to figure out or think of a different way that you could do this, just to kind of make a little bit of variation. Another one is that you can cut each individual petal and just glue it onto something. So here I just grab a circle that I had punched, and then I started gluing the petals around. So just kind of go around and around, just trying to fill in the little sections that I left a little bit open, and then just kind of fold them in I thought that the center looked kind of empty. I was just going to add one of these flat back pearls, but it was too empty, so I decided to go back and cut more of these little petals, but this time I cut them off shorter so that way they could be, staggered into the inside and give a little bit more of dimension to my flower. Again, I am just adding the little petals all over the place and with no specific pattern or anything, and then that gives your flower a little bit of extra. So you can see here, adding that flat back pearl into the center just creates this cute little flower, and this is a lot more flatter than the rolled one is. So it's not that much more time consuming, but if you want a different look on your flowers, that's an option right there, that you can cut the petals. But here is all the flowers that I created so far, and I did have a little bit of this greenery laying around, so I put it on a couple of the flowers. But anyway, the other thing that I picked up was this curvy cutter from EK Tools also, and I wanted to give it a shot. So like I mentioned on my haul video, is that I make these little curvy flowers, and I usually just cut the paper by hand because I don't have a die or anything, but I thought it would be fun to see, using this little tool to make a bigger one. So I, grabbed a sheet of paper and cut a couple of squares, just kind of measured around the shape of the circle, and then I am just using it to cut around. I gotta think of a way to finish just, when you're cutting it, to finish it off, because it does leave the paper into the square, but I just kind of cut it. And the way that you make this, you roll the flowers. So you start at the end of that circle, that spiral, and you start rolling and rolling. And then once you get to the end, it kind of curves into, and you use that little center circle as your base. So you add a little bit of glue, let your flower unravel a little bit to kind of give it that dimension, and then you glue it, and that's about all you have to do there. So these are a lot of fun to make. Definitely, if you are trying to make big flowers or use them for a big project, this is really time saver, because you could just swirl around, or to cut them. But if you want to make smaller ones, I don't know that this is the best tool. I could probably try to test it, but we'll see. I like cutting my own anyway. But here are all the little flowers that I made using both, and I have another little one to show you. So I want to create a little video of trash to treasure, which is basically reusing or upcycling things that you already have laying around your house or your craft room. So in this case, I used these flowers from an old lei that we had, that kind of broke. So my son had been playing with it, so all of a sudden there was flowers all over the place, and I decided to save them because I thought that I could use them for something. I wasn't quite thinking to make them into embellishment flowers, but you know what, I just kind of got the idea, and I said I gotta use those flowers. So I pulled them out, and I am just trimming a little bit, because I don't want these flowers to be bulky. I just want them to lay flat because I want to use them for embellishments and stuff. So that I'm trimming around, so that way I can cut that extra fabric. I also pulled out some of this foliage that I die cut, and started, playing with it and putting some behind the flowers and just kind of decorating them. So that way I could have those ready in a box along with my other flowers and be ready to go when I, want to make something. I decided to use a flat back here as well to decorate the center, and then punched out a little scallop circle to put it as a backing onto the flower, so that way you can use it to glue onto your project. And I just kind of repeated the process. Again, there's no specific uh, pattern or anything, just kind of do whatever works. And if you have any of these laying around, once it breaks, you don't have to throw it away. You could reuse it and make something that you'll be able to use in your craft room to decorate a box or any project. So I thought they were really, really cute. Well, anyway, I hope that you guys are enjoying this video. I will come back and try to make a couple more using these goodies from my last haul and maybe from my other hauls as well. I have so many things and so many ideas of cards that I want to make that, if I only had enough time. So anyway, like I said, just look into your craft room, look into your stash, see what you have that you could probably reuse and, make some other things. Now, another thing that I thought of making here was just making like little rosebuds or petals. And this little greenery worked just fine because I could use it as the stems to hold on to the little flower, and I thought they looked really cute. So let me know what you guys think. Do you have any items that you like to reuse or repurpose? And what do you think? But anyway, I hope everybody has a good night, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Enjoy.